Hey guys, welcome to Paradigm Shifters, episode number 3. Today we have Radil Dharmasriya from BITLANKA, and we are going to introduce you to him and his absolute, ultimate and super venture. So let's get rolling. Starting off, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure. Yes. I'm 20 years old still, and I'm director of operations at BITLANKA, and also I'm an undergraduate student at IIT, studying in business data analytics. Basically, that is pretty much it. Yes.
Okay. Let's introduce BITLANKA to the audience.
Sure. Definitely. Thanks a lot. First of all, thank you for the opportunity, because this is extremely good for us as well. And so with regards to BITLANKA, what BITLANKA is, we are an institution which we mainly focus on creating relevant and easily understandable cryptocurrency educational facts, so that everyone, mainly we are targeted into the Sri Lankan market, or the younger generation in Sri Lanka can understand well, and even the older generation, if they are willing to learn, for sure, can understand the concepts of cryptocurrency well, in order to apply cryptocurrencies to their regular life. Because mainly, I'll just address one small factor as well. But when we started this thing, when we personally got into cryptocurrencies as well, what we saw was Sri Lanka as a country, we are lagging in adapting to trends, right? So let's say if the states, or if Australia or some other developed country does something, we do that same thing after around 3 years afterwards. So yeah, that's something that we've seen. So we were tired of it. We wanted our guys to come ahead, because Sri Lanka as a country, Sri Lanka as a people, we have that spiritual, and we have that courage, always the head-on attitude and everything. But because of the economical factors, mainly economical factors, and also political and all that stuff, the people, they are sort of lagging behind towards where the rest of the world is. So what we wanted to do was directly pinpoint that out, and work our very best to get us out of there, and sort of make this country stable, and provide options for younger generation, because there are a lot of options out there, but we are not just focusing and prioritizing on the wrong stuff.
That's nice. So what's the origin story of BITLANKA?
The origin story, yes. So first of all, we were just a group of guys, group of four guys. We were just we were talking about cryptocurrencies, and we had a general interest, and we were posting content. We wanted to, like I said, we wanted to educate people on what we knew, and we wanted to give the opportunity to other people who knew more than us to share their thoughts as well. So the main way to do that is obviously social media, right? So we started an Instagram. That was the very first beginning. That way we started an Instagram page, and we posted some content regularly, every 2 days. Then it got onto a daily habit, and then we started to get some amazing feedback. So then only we understood that okay, Sri Lankan people, the younger generation, they are willing to learn, and they are inquisitive as to what this particular subject is. So then only we thought, okay, why not now? And then as in any business came the competitor analysis, right? So a lot of people were doing crypto courses here and there, but once we studied that content, right? But once we studied the content that they were educating people on, it was jumbled and all over the place. It was not organized. It was not according to a proper structure. And trust me when I say, you can't learn cryptocurrency. You can't learn about cryptocurrencies like that, right? You have to start from the very beginning, and you have to gradually work your way up. You start from the middle, you are going to get wrecked for life, because you are playing with your money, yes, and you are playing with
it's a risk.
Yeah, it's a risk. So anything related with financial market is a risk, but no risk in this world is it's not. It is we are able to overcome that, but according to proper analysis and everything, right? So then only to the question you asked, the origin story, BITLANKA started as a proper business model in mainly focusing on educating people in throughout cryptocurrencies. That's how it started. We basically, first of all, as a knowledge sharing platform, then we got into monetizing the knowledge we know, and giving it off in an adequate presentation so that it can be understood by anyone. So from the we have had around up close to 400 members up to now. So as in students, we refer to them
what's
as
the time span?
This is within. So now we are effectively running on the 8th month of operations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thank you.
400 people
Yeah.
in 8 months. Learn from you.
Thank you, very flattering, but thank you. But so the thing, what we understood was now like people want to learn, but they want to be taught the right way as well, right? Sri Lanka, we we are a very notorious race of people, right? We want it the way we want it, otherwise we won't even look at it, right? So we wanted to cater to that market. We wanted to give out the product as much as we want, as much as possible. And so far, I believe that we have done the right thing, and we have catered to improving Sri Lanka at least 0.0001%.
Yeah, that's very impactful. I mean, it's still 8 months, so
Yeah.
think about the long run. Okay. I'll ask you a question. Why crypto? Or in the public eyes, why Bitcoin?
As in like why we started to
Yes,
focus on Bitcoin,
yes.
right? Yeah. So mainly, first of all, like it was an upcoming field, and it was very hyped up. The main reason was what I told you earlier. Like we didn't want Sri Lanka to fall behind with this regard, and I am very proud to say that it's not because of us. For sure, people are learning on by themselves also. But we are very proud to say, like we must have had at least some small impact on this. Sri Lanka has not fallen behind with regards to cryptocurrencies. That is a fact that I know. If we talk about numbers, right? It's all numbers game, right? Even life, it's a numbers game. So like when we pay attention to the numbers, so let's say now the population in Sri Lanka is around, let's say, 22 million, right? There are number of active cryptocurrency wallets in Sri Lanka is closer to 1 million now.
Okay.
So that's edging 5%, right? Edging 5% of the total
very
population.
interesting. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in Australia also, in the states even, in the states also that number is towards 17%. From their total population, the people who are not properly educated but know that okay, there's something called cryptocurrency exists. That number is also edging around 16 to 17 million people. So that's around 6-7% of their population, right? So like in that regard, I believe that we are doing pretty well.
Yeah, we are. I mean, according to statistics, you said.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was a statistic not done by us, of course. That was a statistic done by I think it was some university in Australia. They improved the numbers and all that. But when we took a look at how many active wallets are in Sri Lanka, originated in Sri Lanka, that was a number that they came up with. So I believe that we are doing pretty well.
Okay. So for now, okay, you said BITLANKA is 8 months old. So
Yeah.
what were the highlights of this? I mean, of your venture?
The highlights. First of all, the highlights were our first batch.
Okay.
I'll just like to be an inspiration to everyone else. This fact I'm just pointing out, not bragging or anything, right? So for the first batch, we had only 6 members, right? So the first and I'm glad to say that we have not increased the course fees or anything up to now. Even though we have had, it's not about the money. It is somewhat about the money because everything is about money, right? So, but we definitely try to give out the best content at a very reasonable price according to our competitors and everything, right? So one of the main highlights was the first batch we only had 6 members, right? And so 6 members, like we spent on marketing more than what we got from the memberships, right, on the first month. So but we were down and out, like everyone likes, like when you start off a new venture, you are all hyped up, you full of adrenaline and everything, and it slumps and then you're back to square one, right? So no one likes that. So we had that experience personally. But then like what we thought was, we had a discussion, we had lots of discussions, but mainly to put everything into context, we had a small discussion. Okay, let's see what we did wrong. Then when we try to analyze it, apparently like what the feedback that we got was, we didn't do anything wrong. It's just that the market we are catering to are a little skeptical in trying to learn this. So we have not applied to that part yet.
Yeah,
But then
there were some instances where people have mistook it for a pyramid scheme.
Exactly. That was a very very huge problem that we had to deal with. People coming and asking how do you like make money. Do you make money appear from somewhere? No. We have to very politely say no. That is not what we do. We don't handle your money. We don't want your money. You can keep your own money. That is the whole point of cryptocurrencies.
Yeah,
On another note, so you get total control. It's very decentralized and everything. So we don't want your money. We don't want to financially manage anyone's money. We just want to educate you on how you can best manage your money to yourself, so that you won't be left standing without nothing at the end of the day. So yeah, main key highlight was the first batch, and then the highlighting point was how we moved forward with that. Third batch we hit 38 members. This is within 1 month. So this is the third month of operations. So 38. So after that we've averaged around 30 to 40 members a month. So going pretty
So
well.
how many batches for now?
Now it's like we have 3 course modules, right? We have the basic cryptocurrency crash course, we have the advanced technical analysis crash course, and we have passive income, how to generate passive income through cryptocurrencies. We have a course module related to that as well. So far collectively there are about 12 batches.
12 batches.
Yeah, collective. So basic cryptocurrency thing, 7 batches I think. 1 will be starting in July. Advanced technical analysis, we started it in I think it was January. So yeah, basically altogether 12 batches.
And what's your ultimate goal?
With regards to BITLANKA,
Yes.
ultimate goal, I should put it like this. Like, our ultimate goal is, whenever someone in Sri Lanka says, I want to learn about cryptocurrency, or let's say you and I meet around 10 years down the line, and let's say you are married and everything, you have a son or someone, right? He wants to learn about cryptocurrencies. First thing that should come up to your mind is, I should call BITLANKA. That is our end goal.
That's maintaining standards as well. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'll ask you a personal question. According to you, what's the most valuable quality that a business person or an entrepreneur should possess?
Having a good imagination. That is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just the analytical thinking ability, or not just being organized. All those factors are there. Being patient, handling situations well. All these you can go on and on about those stuff. But the main thing is having a good enough imagination, so that, like, I'm not like, when I say good imagination, I don't mean like dreaming of stars or anything in the middle of the day. Not like that. But like, you should see options where other people see only problems. You should see options where other people, not solutions. Like there's a famous saying, you should see solutions where other people should see problems. No, you should see options. According to me, you should see options where other people see problems.
So have you gotten any negative feedback from this?
On BITLANKA?
Yes.
Yes. So like any other business, we have the positive sides and we have the negative sides. But we have, I'm not saying that we haven't. We have had because mainly, so we function as an online teaching institute, right? So now with the current situation in Sri Lanka, power cuts, main thing. So like, let's say I'm just giving a brief example. When we have 40 odd members in one batch, and there's a we have a certain, now earlier the power cuts weren't scheduled, right? So they just cut it whenever they felt like it, right? So it's really hard to get a free time where all 40 people could attend the live lecture, right? So then, of course, that is going to result in some negative feedback, because people don't like to. People always blame the government when something happens, right? So similarly, people they have paid us and they have joined, right? So then, whatever happens in the country, we should be able to cater to to their requirements. So when we are not able to do that, even though it's for no reason of our own, not under control by us, we have to face the music with that regard. So yeah, negative feedback, I'm not denying. We have had negative feedback, but then we implemented a new system where we upload pre-recorded sessions and they can watch it whenever at their convenience. Then we go through with live sessions to sort of Q&A, so that you can ask questions and answers, and the lecture panel will be there, and we can provide the respective answers. So that model is working out pretty well.
Yeah, since with the economic situation as well, it's pretty hard. Yes, but let's get back to crypto. So
Sure.
what were the issues and what were the negative comments on crypto?
On crypto,
So
yes.
as we mentioned earlier, the pyramid scheme,
Exactly.
they mistook it, and what were the other stuff that you had to deal with?
Definitely. So the main issue this is with that regard is people not having the now I'm talking about the very base point. People in Sri Lanka, they don't have enough financial literacy to understand how financial markets move.
Yeah.
That is one thing. So like now let's say this is one example that we had. Now okay, some person has invested some money into Bitcoin, and okay, now cryptocurrency is anyways a volatile subject, right? So I get a call about now there was a severe market crash in January as well. I get a call around 2 days afterwards. Radil, I invested this amount. I only have this amount left now. What should I do with it? So I was just thinking, okay, what should you do with it? In the sense, what do you want me to say? But no, so you all told me that okay, this is a good thing to invest and all. I invested, and now I'm at a loss. Who am I to blame to that? Then only I understood. At that point, I understood. Okay, we are still not where we want to be, because now that person, I think he was in the second week of our lecture, so we haven't really gotten into the very hard concepts with regards to cryptocurrency. But like from that single phone call, I understood okay, we have a lot more work to do, because now to answer the question you said, negative feedback surrounding crypto.
Yes.
So any financial market, when they originate, even the stock market, when they originate, there is bound to be increased amounts of volatility. So it's like it's a very economic scenario. Whenever a financial market is born, the volatility is high. Then only the curve smoothens out, and it comes to a constant level of volatility. That means the market is very saturated and very liquid with a lot of people, lot of assets and everything. So now the stock market doesn't move like 50-60% a day, right?
Yeah.
Maximum it will move around 5 to 10%. If and 10% being a very exaggerated amount, right?
Yes.
So stock market moves 10%, people will kill themselves, right? That's the scenario with regarding the stock market. But when I compare, when I teach people also, I compare those two scenarios and I ask them the question, okay, now you just imagine how long has the stock exchange been there for? I'm not talking about the Sri Lankan stock exchange, the Colombo stock exchange, but in general, a stock market, how long it originates? Up to around 200 to 300 years,
Yes.
right? So crypto, it originated in 2009. So we are looking at the 13th year of operations, right, with regards to crypto. So I mean, like, give it some time. Don't expect a rainbow when it has only been raining for 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good answer. And how have you dealt with this? I mean, what were your solutions to aware the people?
That's the thing. So like I'm just like, let's get into crypto facts as well with regards to that topic, that particular question. So whenever like this, not only to crypto, to anything, right? Even if you all are investing in something, anything that has to do with financial markets, don't go head on, like you face all the other problems. Like facing problems head on is a very good quality. I really admire people who face questions head on, face issues head on, and not back out and everything. But when it comes to financial markets, that's not the way to go. You go head on, your head will be the first thing that's getting that will hurt a lot.
Yes.
Right? So that's not the case with regards to financial markets. Always try to average in and average out. So we have a financial term for this. It's called dollar cost averaging, right? So it's called, now let's say you have $1,000 set aside to invest, and I'm talking about a scenario where it will save you a lot of problems and a lot of headaches, right? If you go with this method. So it's not a method created by us or anything. It's a financial method that has been proven successful for over 300 years. So we are not going to question something that's working perfectly, right? We shouldn't question something that's working perfectly, right? If it's not working, then definitely raise your questions. But if it's working well, no need to question, right? So the theory is you dollar cost average in and you dollar cost average out. Now let's say, for example, you have $1,000 to invest. Okay, you are thinking, okay, you give a call to me, what are the good stuff to invest in right now with regards to cryptocurrency, and I give you 5 stuff. Okay, they are showing good development from their back end, so naturally it will take a positive feedback on the price action as well. Okay, now you go and put. Okay, now you have only $200 to put to that particular asset, right? If you divide it into 5, always diversify. That's the other thing. Don't just rely on something, on one thing to make you filthy rich, right? I mean, you can't get
That's
anywhere
true.
with that.
That's very true.
So the dollar cost averaging goes as you have $200 allocated to invest into a particular thing, right? Now let's say Bitcoin, for example.
Okay.
So don't go and put the total $200 at once, okay? Because now it's a digital transaction, right? It will only take 1 second. It won't even take 1 second. Go to Binance, purchase. It only take 1 second. Don't put all your $200 in within 1 second. That's not dollar cost averaging. Take your time, analyze how the market is behaving, because the market will be there.
Yeah.
Even if you die, the market will be there. So you know, no point in you getting all hurried and rushed into investing into the market. If you have already missed the run, then too bad, you are too late. But make sure that doesn't happen again, right?
Yeah.
So dollar cost averaging in, break the $200 also into 4-5 portions, $40, $50. Try to average in, right? Let's say now Bitcoin went from 63,000, 69,000 or something to 28,000 within the span of 4 months.
Yeah.
So let's say you invested all your $200 when Bitcoin was at the beginning of first month, when Bitcoin was above 60,000, right? Then you would have been in a 50 to 60% loss, right? As of now.
Yeah.
But let's say you average it out. You invested $40 when it was at 60,000, another 40 when it was at 50, 40, 30, and then the final $40 you invested when it was at 28,000. So then your average buy-in is around 35,000 to 40,000, right? So then it sort of cushions the blow. I assume that you get
yes.
right? So like similar process follow when you are taking your money out. Okay, when it's profitable, don't be too greedy and say, okay, I'm going to excel at the exact top. There, out of these now, even Warren Buffett, no, he also can't time the exact market tops and bottoms. Like him being the great man he is with regards to financial analysis and everything. I mean, like he has a team of 150 people working on stock markets alone. So like only those people get paid to look at the charts all day and check what's best. Even a financial team strong like that, if they can't predict the top or bottom, how do you expect you sitting at your house to predict the exact top and bottom, right?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Don't try to do that. Just average in and average out. Be patient, average in and average. It's a long-term game, long-term mindset. Go in with that, you will definitely resolve a lot of headaches that you are,
You're giving out course content, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just giving out some of the course content.
Okay, so as an organization,
Yeah.
how have you dealt with the economic crisis? The economic crisis and then COVID and then like the past few years were hectic for Sri Lanka.
Exactly, yeah.
So how have you dealt with that?
That's a really good question, because now since we are an institution which caters mainly with a consumer-oriented market, right? So like what happens to the general mindset, mainly the mindset of Sri Lankan people, mainly people around Colombo, definitely affects us as a business, right? So
Yeah.
because we are a consumer-oriented market, so definitely it affects us. And also like more than the economical factors surrounding cryptocurrency, more than the negative feedback surrounding cryptocurrency, the situation of this country itself is affecting our business a lot. Now let's say I'll put a very timely and good example in front of you. No one is interested in learning cryptocurrency when they are spending 8 hours in front of goldfish. That is one thing.
Yeah.
Right? And no one is interested in learning a new thing and trying to invest their money and everything when they are waiting 8 hours in front of a shed or in front of a gas queue, right? In a gas queue.
Very demotivating.
Exactly. But on the other hand, someone might argue with me and say, the people who have money, they have money. I perfectly agree with that. There is still a crowd in Sri Lanka. They will never run out of money, right? Not even more than 1% for sure. Like there are about close to 500,000 odd people. They will never run out of money, right? So even though now everyone is talking about the economical factors, right? So is chiller room closed? No, right?
No.
Open.
Yes.
Very happening on the weekends and Fridays, right? Is all the hotels closed? No, very happening, right? Is Colombo closed? No, right? Very happening. So the people still have their disposable money, disposable income coming in and going out the other way. But the thing is, the general mindset now, people are even the rich people, even the people who now we cater to all markets, right? So we do the lectures in English up to a very standard point of view. So even the rich people can come and learn with us. So someone might say, okay, why are you not getting members because of the economic crisis? If you are saying people still have money, there are a portion of people. The thing is, even the rich, even the so-called rich people, the silver spoon people in the society, mainly surrounding Colombo and everything, they also now they are partying and everything. They are spending their disposable income because to avert the stress.
Yes.
They are not in a proper mindset to someone learn something, to invest. Now they are like someone might ask, okay, why is that? So their money that they already invested, I mean their parents or whatnot, the money that they already invested earlier is working for them now. But they don't have, one thing is they don't have the need to invest more. Even if they do have the need, they won't turn to cryptocurrencies because it's a new thing. No one is going to learn a new thing when you turn on the news at 8 and you hear crisis, right there, right here, 2 people dead, 2 people injured, 2 policemen injured. No one's going to get into that particular mindset when they hear everything daily on a recurring basis.
So how have you dealt with it?
How have we dealt with it? Yes. So like up to a certain extent, now what everyone has to understand is like what we also understood down the line was, up to a certain extent there are only a limited there's only a limited number of things that we can do, right? So what we have taken some measures, we have provided discounts because we also want to think from the people's perspective, right? Because we are also people, if it happened the other way to us, if I was going to learn, I would appreciate a discount, right? Because I'm trying to save up everything I have, right? So because like you should have disposable money to invest in that something, right? Why bother to learn about something if you don't have the money to invest in it, right? So like that's the other reason. So what the reasons aside, how we have countered that is, I'm not saying we fully countered that, but providing discounts and providing one-on-one services, exactly,
yeah,
up to a certain point, providing one-on-one services to our members, asking if they're okay, how can I assist you, like even if it is not regard to cryptocurrency, let's say they have some investments in land or some stocks or something, we try to provide our financial guidance. Okay, you do something like this, then might turn out better than what it is now. Okay, we try to give that other additional option. And like bro, we have
is that in your long-term plan to like go into other fields as well?
Yeah, definitely we have to think of that, because now after some point every company they reach sort of a climax level, right?
Yeah.
So it is
There's
up
no
to the company's
development
management to decide if you go after climbing, after you climb the hill, either you keep climbing a different hill or you climb down the same hill, right? Those are the only two options, right? So we have to think definitely about expanding, but for now we are mainly focusing on crypto, not anything else. So we are thinking of going like this, let's say until the end of 2023. That gives us around 2 years to 1.5 years more, and planning on making a difference during that time frame.
So how's the crypto market at the moment?
At the moment, crypto market is honestly very boring.
It's very bad.
Yeah, because now, like, not now. We are talking about the economical situation in Sri Lanka because of the stupid knuckleheads in the parliament and whatnot. But the global economy, geopolitical factors, and like the war and everything, affecting the geopolitical factors affecting the global economy are also there, and that is also taking a toll on us. So
yeah,
if we are to not take it, if it's not to take toll, then you have to be a country like Saudi or infinite oil reserves and everything, right? But the crypto markets are also definitely feeling it, because like I said, if the stock market is feeling it after being around 200-300 years, what breathing space does crypto have after being in the scene for like 13 years, right? So increased crypto is I always say this in my lectures. Crypto is a really easy way to nurture your mindset and to improve morale, because if you can withstand a 50% 60% market drop, my goodness, you can withstand anything.
And another thing, so the investors at the moment, they're surely not motivated to invest, right?
Yeah.
So since the market is down, the global economy is down, so what's your advice for them who have invested? I mean, not the new ones, but who have invested.
My advice for them is, like, if you haven't still gotten out of the market, that means you have a very good sense of patience and perseverance, right? Keep doing that, and you will definitely come out on top. Now, every financial market, it works as market cycles, right? So it's the same as how it goes down. Now, like, why haven't we had economical crisis up to now? Other economical crisis, right? So we haven't still gone into a sort of a recession form base. We haven't still gone to that up to that extent. So there is still some space. There is still some room. It's just that, like, when you hear negative comments, right? Let's say you take 100 comments about crypto, 98 of them are negative, right? So, but the other two, what we have to focus is, okay, if the other 2% is positive, why are they positive? The brings back to that factor I said about dollar cost averaging in. You average in, you cushion the blow. More you cushion the blow, more free of headaches you are, right? So my advice to investors who are already involved with the crypto market is to keep hanging on, do research, learn new things, learn about new projects, how to identify a new project quickly. So if you are still there, the projects you have invested already are still in your portfolio, just analyze what are the reasons that made you look into those projects in the first place. Okay, then analyze, okay, I have this much of knowledge surrounding each of these projects. Now, with regards to cryptocurrency, there's a small informative thing as well. Anyone who's watching this, with regards to cryptocurrency, how you choose a cryptocurrency, mainly a good one to invest in, it's called the crypto trilemma, right? So there are three factors, right? If you draw a triangle, every corner of the triangle, there are three factors surrounding a crypto project. One is security, one is decentralization, one is scalability, right? So security wise, it should be these involve network and these involve blockchain technology, and mainly something to do with technology. It should be very secure, because just like financial literacy, most of the people in the world, they are not very technologically literal as well, right? A lot of people,
not everyone, yes.
No idea on what's happening, right? You can turn the computer on and off. Other than that,
even the youngsters,
right? Even me, I'm not bragging about myself. I also can't do much with regards to computer, right? So, like, in that case, what you should do is you should learn, right? There's always now, like, when in our parents' day and age, YouTube was not a big deal, right? And you can't learn. Like, there was no online platforms like Udemy, Upwork, Fiverr. There's no places for you to learn stuff, right? LinkedIn Learning, none of those was available around 50-60 years back, right? But now you can, like the amount of time you spend on your mobile phone, allocate some of that to learn something, right? Learn something new. So I mean, like, that's what we are lacking, right? So
yeah. So I should have asked this question before. If it's a new person, if it's someone who doesn't know about cryptocurrency, how would you introduce it to them?
I would introduce. There will
be a question asked, what is crypto?
Okay.
So there are people who doesn't know about crypto, who are like confused about it. So how would you introduce?
Okay. In my very own words, it's a decentralized financial ecosystem where you can be a part of by yourself without no intermediary. I'll just elaborate a little bit on that. Now, let's say you go to a supermarket, right? Let's say you go to a bank. Are you in control there? No, I don't think so, right? You are in control when you go to the cashier to pay.
Yeah.
Of course. You are in control when you go to the bank to deposit the money. But after that, do you know now let's say you opened a fixed deposit. I think the limit is 1.5 million or something, with regards to FDs. Right? So let's say you go and put 1.5 million, right? Do you know what the bank does with that 1.5 million? No. Do you have a question? Okay. Now let's say they are offering you 22% interest per annum, right? Or at maturity. Do you know how they are getting that 22% interest? Right? I mean, like, they are not going to give you money for free, right? Okay. So, like, the problem is in Sri Lanka, this is the main factor. Everywhere else is also just the same.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying all the other people have gone past us, but it brings me back to the factor that how many people out of 100, out of 1,000, out of 22 million ask the question, where does my money go after I give it to someone else? So basically, when you open a fixed deposit, you are giving your money to someone else, right?
Yeah, you are.
So you are entrusting your money to someone else. Your hard-earned money, you are entrusting it to someone else. Okay, so where does it go? Do you think of that question? I don't think so. A lot of people don't. right? Even I didn't do earlier, right? I just want to, okay, some magic thing happens and okay, I get 22% extra money from what I deposited at the end of the time period, right? But you have to have the knowledge, okay, they are investing it somewhere else and they are definitely getting a higher portion, at least 32, at least 7 or 8% higher, so that they keep their markup and they give the remaining to you. So basically, you are just funding someone's pet project of your own money, and if the project turns out well, then you are in the green. If not, you are doomed, right? So let's say Sampath Bank defaults tomorrow.
Yeah, they're not.
I mean, how you just check the newspapers following morning, how many suicides must have happened, right?
That's
So
very
yeah.
true. Okay. Is there a law in Sri Lanka for crypto?
Not at the moment, no. But it's like it's in a grey area. It's not illegal. It's not legal as well. There's no law tender passed, because I'll just address this as well. Like I hope that's fine, because I don't know if some white van comes and grabs you off. I am not responsible for that. So it's same case for me, right? Because that the reason is that because now first of all, Sri Lanka is not in a position to delegate or to apply resources into formulating a whole new financial market. That is one thing. Like we are suspending the Colombo Stock Exchange once every 2 weeks. How can we focus on cryptocurrency market altogether, right?
So there's no developments towards crypto
Not
from the government?
No, from the government, no. But trust me when I say there are a lot of political parties who have invested in crypto, because it's a decentralized way, right? Like I said, the whole point of this is you controlling your own money, right? So there are, like in any scenario, there are pros and cons, right? Okay, let's say I have tons and tons of money lying around, and the opposition party is just looking at a break where small mistake that I will make to expose everything, right? So 22 million people in this country, let's say 21 million are targeted at exposing at that. The slight chance they get, they will definitely do that. Best way to hide my money, or best way to keep it unregulated or keep it within the control of myself, through crypto. That is also there. Everything, pros and cons are there. So that is one of the main reasons I think, my very humble opinion is that's why it's not regulated as of yet. But regulations will come, because the governments can't ignore that a lot of Sri Lankan people are into crypto right now, as of now, right? So I mean, like the crypto now, let's say the Colombo Stock Exchange, most of the money, 80% of the assets inside the Colombo Stock Exchange are controlled by people over 50 years of age, right? Most of the assets, right? But when it comes to crypto, the younger generation has a very significant upper hand within Sri Lanka. So yeah, no regulations for now. It's in a grey area, but definitely regulations will be passed within the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years. It's a very high probability.
Okay, last question on crypto. What will be the future
For
Sri
crypto?
Lanka for crypto?
In Sri Lanka.
Yeah, well, let's start with Sri Lanka
And then move into in general. Okay. In Sri Lanka, definitely cryptocurrency will be widely adapted. That is I mean, like no one can stop it. So up until 5 to 6 years here, like no one had the slightest clue about cryptocurrency, right? But Sri Lankans living abroad, they definitely had the exposure. Exactly. Exactly. So like I mean, like someone has to wonder, right? How much money does a guy have? How many SPACs can he start off? How many businesses can he fund? How many startups? That's what he does, right? I mean, SPACs or something, right? But it's companies. So how many companies that can fund based on a mutual fund that was started around 10 years back, right? The answer is crypto. The guy brought Bitcoin, I think, when it was $1 to $2.
Yeah,
right?
I guess, yes.
So I mean, like just put $100 and when appreciating 6 million%. Like you're obviously going to have some cash lying around, right? So like there are a lot of Sri Lanka, and even excluding that so much of a high profile, there are like I'm in a WhatsApp group with regards to cryptocurrency. There are guys there doing $3 million within 10 minutes. It's just a piece of cake for them, all through crypto, right? So it's like it's sort of a generational shift of wealth, sort of thing, right?
Yeah, it is.
Right, because earlier, now let's say beginning of this year, beginning of last year, someone like me, someone like you, like 25 years of age, right? Like we have to really thrive, unless our fathers and mothers were very extremely rich. Unless that's the case, we have to thrive very hard and all that, right? To earn something. But now that process is still very hard. But now it's like, you know, gradually it's shifting, right? Earlier there was this whole thing where, you know, if you're a director, or let's say if your first thing is you have to be around 40-50 years old for you to obtain a directorship of a company, right? Of a well reputed company, because that was a mindset that Sri Lanka was set into. Yeah, exactly. The traditional cultural mindset. My gosh, I really hate that. So the thing is, like, giving an opportunity to a youngster, the guy might have less experience, but he might have solutions and options where you might have never thought of, right? With regards to a 50-year-old, right?
That's
because like, I mean, how much now the main source of information, the main source of globalization even is social media, right? How much time does a 50-year-old spend on social media as opposed to a 20-year-old, right? So I mean, like, if you want to go with the trend of the world, give it to someone who knows what the trends are, right, at present. I mean,
it's hard to do in Sri Lanka, but
exactly.
I mean, it's a fact.
That's what happens everywhere in the world,
Yeah.
right? So leading now, when we started this discussion, I told you that our main objective was to give Sri Lanka the head start so that we won't be left behind, right?
Yes.
So because of the traditional systematic management system here, which is already set in place, we are definitely running behind, because the proper place is not given to the proper individual, right? I mean, like, age is a very main factor here, right?
So to end the discussion, how would someone join your course from BITLANKA?
They could drop us a text on our hotline, or just contact us on Instagram, BITLANKA. And our reservation teams, we tend to make them work 24 hours a day, but depending on the current situation and everything, we just stick with the 12 hours, 10 to 10, right? They can always reach us. They will definitely have, anyone inquiring about our courses will have a definite reply within 24 hours. That's for sure. So they can contact us through Instagram, drop us a text on WhatsApp. I'm not going to say any numbers because someone might think this is a whole marketing stunt or something. But just contact us through Instagram.
Do inform the viewers where they can find you.
You can find us through Instagram. Mainly, our main source of exposure to other people, to the market that we are catering, is Instagram. So find us at Instagram at BITLANKA, and just search, like, if you are Sri Lankan, the demographic clicks in the social media this thing, and according to the algorithm, you just type in bit and you type in L, you should get a page up on the top.
Okay, one last question. A quote you live by with?
Okay, yeah, this is something that I lived by and will continue to live by the rest of my days. For you to have financial freedom, should first have financial literacy.
Okay guys, we are done with episode number 3. We had our very own Sri Lankan personality who's gonna do good in crypto, Radil Dharmasriya, and we are done with our episode number 3 of Paradigm Shifters, presented to you by ChoKoLAATe. See you guys on another day. Bye.